Welcome back to another episode. This is actually our final episode of the season and of 2023. Yeah, it's 2023. Yeah. Anyways, so to kick things off, as always, you have myself, Sig, the wonderful, the majestic, the lovely, and then we have the gorgeous green suit with the light string on it. His Christmas suit. I love Facebook. We have Rahgel here with us.
There's nothing good that comes out of Facebook ever. Nothing good.
Speak for yourself. I love every picture.
Nothing good ever comes out of Facebook.
I love when she puts pictures. I'm like, why is she popping up on my feed? Oh, he was tagged. Let's look at the pictures. But our final episode, and with that said, this is just the final episode that's being recorded. We do still have 2 more that will come out this year. It will be 6 top 3 episodes of season 22 or season 2, and Rahgel's top 3 episodes of season 2. Huh? Fucking jumping 20 years ahead. So those will be the recap video, so to speak, or episodes of the year. And then of course we also have our live stream that's going to be taking place December 24th through the 30th. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, maybe Instagram if I can figure that shit out. But we're everywhere at this point. So, but with that said, final episode means chaos. Anything can happen.
Final season episode.
Yes.
You should say final season episode. You make it sound like we're going away. Like
final episode of season 2. Yeah. Nothing's rehearsed, nothing scripted, nothing edited. So this should be ever. He wouldn't know because he doesn't do any of this shit. I'm just gonna plug myself.
Here we
go.
Season 3, I'm applying for new positions.
You got a guest on. Finally.
I did.
Which will be, for you listening, that will be the season premiere of season 3. So we have an interesting guest that will be on. Really good guy. Great conversation. Great guy. So tune in for that. That'll be available January 2nd. Yeah, January 2nd. So, but till then, you're stuck with us, as always.
And then also January 2nd as well. So
yeah. Well, kind of. You'll have to. But
every time you listen to us, you're stuck with us.
Just know you chose to hit play.
And continue this far.
Yeah.
Into everything.
With that said, it's again, this is gonna be all thrown together, hodgepodge, no conversation before this to even kind of somewhat sort of figure out what the hell we're gonna talk about. I got something interesting. We've talked about this before, kind of like off podcasts, maybe. I don't think I've talked about it on podcasts. Maybe. I don't know. We've done a lot. I have very everything just muddled together for our episodes. I told you probably like a month ago, whatever, I was going to have my consultation to go have a vasectomy.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally got that done. The consultation, I had to wait another month. But anyway,
so weird.
They only do like a dozen a month in this little rinky-dink shop. Anyways, that sounds really bad when you put it like that. Yeah.
You might want to go. You might want to actually go to a doctor. You just don't go to a fucking toy store and say, "Hey, grab those kid scissors over there, some rubber bands, and those play band-aids. Let's do this. No more kids."
Pretty much. But no. So went to my consultation, and of course, wife drops me off because we're down to one car, and I'm in there, and finally get seen. Go to the back. The questions are fucking ridiculous. The what's the best way to put this? Their insurance on their side is not like health insurance, but their insurance policy is ridiculous because like I go in there and of course they take my blood pressure and they're like, okay, have you ever had a genital surgery of any sorts? And of course I'm a smart ass. And when I'm uncomfortable or I'm anxious, medical procedures, I'm anxious all the time. I make jokes, and they're not like the best thought out jokes. And they're kind of just like, I'm trying to make you uncomfortable now. You're going to be on my level. But anyways, so like, have you ever had any surgery on your genitals? I was like, nope, not that I knew of. Nope. And they stopped to go, what do you mean that you know of? Like, when I was in the military, you never know. Just shit happens in the military. You get knocked out, pass out at a party, you don't know what's happened. And the lady's just really uncomfortable looking. She's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna put down no. Okay, you haven't had any recent. Nope. Okay. Okay, well, here's a video. You're gonna hear about how the procedure's done, and they're gonna talk about, and then you need to basically verify all this that you watch with your doctor that comes in. I was like, okay, perfect.
What other procedures are there? First off, I don't know of any.
You can donate a testicle and make like thousands of dollars. That's a surgery. You could replace a hernia. You could, or fix a hernia. You could have a collapse testicle. You could have like the guy in my basic squad had, which was elephantitis in his nut. He probably had surgery on that. If he didn't, he should have, because that thing was like the size of a freaking softball.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about. I was just thinking like your dick, like what, like I don't know, like enlargement. Like I don't know what the hell you're trying to have. Balls, okay, makes sense.
Ma'am, I had 3 stents put in, each one an inch. We're now showing finally. So, again, I'm already anxious about this because I know the idea, I get the concept, but I'm not stupid either. But the way they ask the questions of which they ask, make me go, who the fuck is coming in here? Who doesn't understand like basic autonomy? Who doesn't understand any of the shit? And I say that because one of the many questions I got asked was, do you understand that you are going to have surgery on your scrotum? I was like, yes. It's how vasectomy is performed. Like, you have to cut it open, go in, snip the wire, done. And she's like, okay.
You're not just serving a bomb. Like,
Tell me the lie. Tell me where the lie is. That's what's happening.
It's like you go, red or blue, red or blue. Which one did I cut?
To be fair, there's 2 down there. They need to like figure out which one they're cutting. And they even talk about in the video that they had to find it. I'm not wrong. It sounds like a bomb diffusing. But anyway, so it's like, okay, I understand that. And the doctor's going over the procedures, like, we'll snip it, we're gonna cauterize it. That's using energy to basically close it. I was like, oh, you're melting it. You're cauterizing it. Oh, okay. And he literally goes, okay, like kind of like he had that epiphany, that light bulb moment. He knows what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just not stupid. But it's like, and then we're gonna take part of the tube and we're gonna stitch it basically on the inside, so where there's no way it can grow back together. It will just be forever attached to the inside of your scrotum. I was like, all right, perfect, makes sense. He goes, so you're gonna have dissolvable stitches, meaning they will disappear by themselves. You'll need to come in and see us. Okay, dissolvable, yeah. Again, I understand what these words mean, but in my head I'm going, who the fuck doesn't understand this 3rd grade lingo that's talking? Like, what is going on? So anyways, they talk about the procedure and I'm over here just going, yep, makes sense. He goes, okay, well, understand it is reversible. You need to have it done before 3 years. After that, it's very dicey. 1 in 2,000 fail, meaning 1,999 are very successful and no issues. And then he's like, you'll come back in for your 3-month checkup and we'll test you. That's literally how he said, we will test your supply and see if you're at 0. I was like, okay, you're going to test my semen to see if it's 0, if I have no swimmers. And he goes, yes. I'm awkward. Just remember that. Very awkward.
No, not at all.
So I sit there, I was like, it's safe to say I'm in charge of making sure I'm down to 0, right? He goes, ideally, yes. You or your significant other should help produce that number down to 0. I was like, okay, perfect, got it. Understand. I will take care of that. I'm a master. It'll be like teenage years all over again. He just stopped. He's just, all right. Anyways, we gotta cover some more stuff. I'm having fun. I'm anxious. I'm like nervous and everything, but I'm having fun. I don't know what else to do. Ridiculous. He goes, I have to inform you, you, even though you are snipped, you will be fertile until we get numbers to prove you are 0. Understood. So if you get this procedure and you decide to be intimate with your wife shortly after, she can still get pregnant. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. The number's not down to 0. Like, you just did it. It's not like a water valve where you shut it off and it's instantly done. Like, that's just not how this works. He's like, oh, okay, perfect. All right, so I need you to sign this form that states that you understand that until you hit your 3-month appointment, you are deemed very fertile, and which means you can produce a baby. I was like, well, I can't produce a baby, but I can sure help create one. And he's like, yes, that's correct.
Let me note this down. I'm taking everything from this guy. Balls, dick, everything. He's not gonna, he's being a Ken doll by the time he walks out of here.
So whatever. So I signed the paperwork. He's like, okay, now we need to get into like the more sensitive topic. The fuck is more sensitive than talking about like what? Give me more sensitive. So
How does this get deeper?
So I was like, okay, shoot. Well, I still can. He's just like, okay. Anyways, he's, like you can tell he's maybe either annoyed or like just he doesn't know what to do with me, which is fine. Most people don't. So he's there. He's like, okay, why are you here? I was like, oh, to get a vasectomy. But this is my consultation. So okay, right, okay. You're having the same thought process, okay? So I was like, to have a vasectomy. But this is a consultation. I'll be back in a month. He's like, okay. Do you? Who's your doctor that's going to be doing the procedure? It's like, I don't know. No one. Like, I haven't actually been issued a doctor. I was told I'd get one. I have one assigned to me on a consultation. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay. You don't know your doctor at all? I was like, nope. I honestly assumed it was you because you're here doing my consultation. He's like, yeah. No, I don't work on Mondays. I was like, okay. I don't know who my doctor is. Like, I don't even know who's fucking here. So whatever. Yeah. So he's like, okay, let me look it up. And he tells me, I was like, okay. He's like, okay, well, again, you're here for a vasectomy. I was like, yes. And at this point, I'm like, you've clarified this now 3 times.
Weird ass conversation we had just before all this.
So he goes, okay, are you here of your own free will? Yeah. I'm here. He doesn't know I have kids yet at this point either, so it just kind of plays a role. I was like, yeah, I'm here on my own free will. Like, I told my doctor probably 2-3 years ago, because back then I talked to my insurance company and they said as long as my doctor refers me, they will pay for it. And my doctor never did. It just kept getting pushed off. And I just finally gave up and I called myself this summer. And he's like, okay, well, we are covered. We're covered underneath Planned Parenthood bill, so you're good there. I was like, okay, perfect, awesome, don't care, let's go on with this. So he's like, okay, you're here of your own free will, 100%. Yes, no one's forcing you to be here. No. Like, now I'm inquisitive. I was like, no.
I don't think so.
Okay, so he's like, so your significant other, your wife? I was like, yes. Does she know you're here? Yeah, she dropped me off. Okay, did she tell you to come here? No, but she encouraged it. So he's like, okay. So she didn't force you, she didn't make the call? No, again, I made the call several times. He's like, okay.
I'm a man.
And
I make my own decisions. I'm a man.
I'm an adult. But so I was like, okay. And he was, okay, so no one else. Mother-in-law? I was like, no. Mom, dad is like, they don't know. No one knows I'm here except for my wife. I came here of my own accord, if that's what you're asking. He goes, okay, we just need to make sure. I was like, okay. Do you have another partner? No, that's too much work. And he was like, you don't have another wife, another girlfriend, boyfriend? No, that's too much fucking work. No. Get in here. And okay, that's my question too. Grand Fort Riley's like 30 minutes away. Yeah. And so I was like, okay. I was like, no, I'm starting to get like annoyed really heavily here. I was like, I'm here of my own free will, of my own accord. I understand the ramification of this. No one's forced me to be here. I'm doing this myself because I no longer want kids. And like, okay, well, how old are you again? I was like, I'm 33. He goes, okay, so ideally we don't We don't normally do procedures under 35. And I was like, okay, well, I want it done. I don't want any more kids. Like, I'm done. I have enough. He's like, oh, okay, so you do have kids. I go, yeah, I have two. I have a son and a daughter. Told him my age, and he's like, okay, perfect. And your wife is okay with you having a procedure? Yes. It's less invasive for me to do this than have my wife do it. And he's like, okay. And she's 100% okay with this. Yes. And you don't have a mistress or an affair partner. I was like, sir, look, I'm starting to get kind of annoyed with this. It's no one else. Okay. I'm getting this done. I want this done. I will be back January 15th to have my appointment to get the snippety snip and be done. And I'll see you in 3 months. And he's like, okay. I just need you to sign this paper to make sure that it's of your own volition, own accord, blah, blah. All right, whatever. And of course, I'm signing all these paperwork, and my head starts making up its own stories because now I have all these fucking red flags.
That's what it does.
I'm just like, who the fuck is coming in here? Like, who's coming in here and be like, look, I need to have a vasectomy, and you're not gonna tell my wife, right? Okay. Oh, my girlfriend. You can't tell them. I was like, it's cute. You think I could juggle a wife, a family, and a side piece? Like, no, no. I fucking slip up so goddamn quick because I tell my wife everything. Like, oh yeah, I was hanging out with so and so today. They'd be like, who the fuck is that? Oh, well, you know, she's this girl.
Well, this was fun while it lasted.
Awesome. But so, yeah, so that happened, and then I didn't know this was gonna happen. But he's like, all right, we need to do a quick exam. I was like, okay. So I like stuck my arm out thinking they needed like blood pressure, heart rate, all that stuff. Like, well, he's like, stand up, drop your drawers. I was like, oh, okay. Like nonchalantly, and I was like, oh, okay, just dropped them. And I just like there. He goes, okay. I was like, look, you're not the first guy to tell me to drop my drawers and fondle me. It's at least you're younger this time. He had to literally stop and go, what?
I DoorDash. This is very common.
I was thinking of military, but yeah, the creepy old fuck from MEPS.
Oh yes.
So he just kind of like, what? I was like, oh yeah, like I was in the military. He goes, okay. Like I got fondled by an old geezer who's probably like 89 years old. Told me bend over and cough and duck walk, and he's just all while like trying to find this pipe, so to speak, and he's just like, what? I was like, yeah, this is like everybody does it. Okay. Anyways, takes his glove. He's like, yeah, you're a prime candidate. You're good to go. We should be fine. Here's your paperwork and everything. I was like, okay, cool, perfect. I started reading the paperwork, and he was still asking me questions. And he's like, something about NOx gas, or taking a Percocet. And he's like, Percocet is covered. I'll explain why. He's like, Percocet's covered by insurance. The gas will be $100. Insurance doesn't cover. I was like, okay, cool. I thought I was awake for all this. He's like, oh, you will be. I was like, okay. I thought it was like a 10-minute procedure. Oh, it is. Okay. So like, I'm confused, and it's clearly visible on my face. He's like, okay, it's to ease the nerves. We get way too many people come in here who get really, really nervous and really anxious about it. So we just prescribe exactly one Percocet pill, which we will administer when you get here. So you'll go pick up at your pharmacy, bring the pill here day of, and we'll give it to you. And it's just to kind of basically help calm your nerves and get you so where you're not jostling around on the table, and you sit still and you remain calm. And he's like, I would highly recommend doing the gas, but again, it's $100 because insurance doesn't cover it. And I was like, what's the name of that gas again? And he told me. I was like, oh no, yeah, I can't use that. He's like, well, why not? I was like, well, that's what the military uses or the Air Force used when I got my wisdom teeth removed. And they had that up to like a 5 out of 8. And I woke up 10 minutes into it. I felt my teeth cracking and then pulling them. And he's like, oh, how'd they finish the procedure? They cranked it to an 8, numbed me the fuck up, and gave me something to swallow. And he's like, okay, so we're going to do Percocet. Have you ever had a Percocet before? I was like, yeah. It's fine.
Do I bring my own or just what you prescribe me?
So he's like, okay, well, you're going to be issued exactly one. Do not take it before. Bring the pill to us with you on the appointment. It's like, okay, cool, I understand. Whatever. So finish up the appointment. Wife picks me up. I'm reading up the paperwork. He didn't tell me, but I'm under the assumption, I think like many guys are, because of videos and movies, that I get there and they shave me. And they'd be like, shave, done. The paperwork says, please ensure entire groin area is shaved from the base of the scrotum all the way to the base of the shaft and the whole surrounding area. Please make sure you shave the day before, if not the morning of, if you have time. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't have a razor blade. Does it look like I have a razor blade? It's like, great. So I looked to my wife. I was like, hey, I'm going to get you a new razor blade, okay? Tell her about it. And it was funny. But the whole thing, like the whole interaction was really just red flags for me. And the fact that the questions alone just made me go, the fuck is happening here? Type thing. And I was like, okay. And then I think you probably had this when you had yours. I don't know. You went through VA, so they probably just gave you ibuprofen.
Oh, just wait. I'm already going. I'll go with mine after you talk about your luxury store you have here.
It gets better. So, the part I forgot is like the recovery, like the post-op. The doctor's telling me about it. He's like, listen, you are going to be sedentary for 3 days. You are not to move. You're not to get up. You can go to the bathroom. You can get something to eat. Do not strain yourself if you have to go and have a bowel movement. And by the way, side note, I hate that we're being so medical with all this fucking jargon. Poop is perfectly medical. Drop a deuce, I don't care. But anyways, it was just kind of bugging me. It's my thing. So he's like, so you can't strain because you can tear the stitches on the inside. You're also not allowed to have intimacy for the first week. You're not allowed to touch yourself for the first week. Basically, no touching, no fondling, leave it alone. It's like, but for the first 3 days, you don't move. And so you're going to stay on the couch, stay on the chair, or in bed. We recommend you stay in bed, but we understand that this new age of people and society, there's a lot of gamers out there, so you can go play games as long as you sit down in a chair and make sure you have like a donut or a butt pillow or some type of thing. I was like, oh, perfect. My wife bought me this really nice pillow because my chair is deteriorating. So it's a really nice pillow that I sit on. It's very comfortable. And he's like, and you need to bring tight underwear or a jock strap. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, yeah, you have to. And you're going to wear that for 3 days. I don't want to. He's like, well, then bring tight underwear in. Like, okay, I got tight underwear. He's like, no, like whitey tighties. I'm like, dude, you're fucking handcuffing me at this point. I haven't worn whitey tighties since the military, and that's uncomfortable. Like, my thighs stick together. There's no gap there. That's very awesome. So I'm relaying all this information to my wife about the 3 days, the fact that I get prescribed 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen, which I told him, don't waste my insurance money on that. I'll just go to the store and I'll pop 4 pills in adverse to just popping your one and paying you $100, $5. So that's a no-go. They said they had to prescribe it to me. I'm not like picking up. That's stupid. But anyways, telling my wife this, and she goes, yes, I gave birth and I was released 2 days after giving birth for both our children. Could have been released 12 hours later, but no, they both had to be checked for jaundice or whatever. I was like, yeah, they didn't give me any. They didn't let me have a Percocet. Hell, fucking the anesthesiologist, Todd, not to dime him out, but Todd, you need to fucking move quicker. He was late to getting my wife hooked up with drugs so where she could give birth to our first kid. And like by late, I mean, my wife was about to get to the point, I think she was maybe 10 to 15 minutes away before she could no longer have a needle, whatever. I forget the medicine. I want to say morphine, but that doesn't. There we go. Epidural. She was about 5 to 10 minutes away from passing the time that she's not allowed to have it because Todd was just taking a sweet fucking time. It was at night, for God's sakes. But anyways, whole other story. So she's more irate about the fact that it's such a pristine, cozy, comfy, like no moving, not allowed to do anything. She's like, yeah, I'm over here breastfeeding, having her walk around, fucking diaper and all this shit because my organs are falling out. I was like, all I'm saying is, it's tough. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting for like 3 days. And so joked about it for a little bit, and then later that night she stopped and she's like, "Are you sure you want to get this done?" Like in all serious tone, she's like, "Are you sure you want to get this done? Because this does sound like it's going to hurt really, really bad." I was like, "Yeah, but it's 3 days of discomfort, maybe a week of discomfort, versus another kid."
18 years of discomfort.
Minimum 18 years.
Yeah.
We'll see how they are as adults. So I was like, I'll take it. And she's like, okay, well, I mean, you have a month to back out. I'll support you either which way. I was like, hold on, because now I'm starting to think, does she flip the script? Does she all of a sudden not want me to have this done? It's like, do you want another kid? Is that what you're trying to hint at? She goes, God, no, I don't want another fucking kid. I'm done. I was like, okay. Are you going to get your tubes tied? No. That sends like the hormones and everything out of balance. It's like, okay. So I'm going to keep doing this then, because it sounds like this needs to happen. So we're going to have this happen. She's like, okay, it just sounds like it's going to be painful. I go, oh, it will be. And I'm going to bitch and moan about it every step of the way. And you can bet your sweet ass on Tuesday, January 16th, when I'm recording an episode with Rahgel, I'm going to sit over here and bitch and moan that my fucking balls hurt because I just had a vasectomy the day before, and Rahgel's gonna give me shit, and he's gonna tell me stop being a bitch and to man up and yada yada yada. I know how this whole thing plays out. I'm okay with it. She's okay. I mean, you have a month. So,
well, that was your experience of going to I'm assuming an actual doctor, clinic, or whatever.
Yeah. Pediatrician office up above. Urologist down below. Perfect placement.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. So I went through the VA for mine, and I had mine. I did it last year, this year.
Pretty
Within the last year.
Last year.
Something. Yeah, it's been a while. So I went through the VA. I knew that my insurance was not going to cover it. This is insurance to work and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I knew that I could request it to the VA if you have, obviously the ability to get to the VA. So I called them, made the appointment. I think we'll say February I made it. And then I was scheduled for March. So within the 30-day period of me requesting it, then getting it. And
requested June. Got approved in September and got scheduled for December or January.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a really quick turnaround.
There was no consultation.
Oh, that's a VA though. That's fair.
This was hey, I want to schedule this. Okay, it looks like we have an opening in we'll say March, late March. Okay, perfect.
That's what I thought would happen because that's what all my buddies told me, and I'm pretty sure that's what you told me when I asked about it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I have a consultation. You go, okay. Like, the way you respond, I was like, oh, well, this isn't normal. But yeah.
I didn't have a consultation. So, I showed up. They're like, they didn't tell me to shave and like that. They're like, just show up. We'll take care of it.
We will manhandle you.
I did not have any conversation of, is this on your own? Are you doing free will? Do you have kids? Blah, blah, blah.
There was no care for you at all.
No, this is the VA. So I show up, and I had a ride there, so obviously I knew I wasn't going to be able to drive back. So I got there, and I walked in. I laid down. Nurse walks in. And this is after it gives me the whole apron or whatever shit you got to put on. So I put that on and like, oh, make sure it's open in the front. I'm like, why? You just want to pull it up? Like, why? You not work on the back side, you work on the front side, huh? And obviously, yes, the front has to be open. Okay, makes sense. So then, okay, just put on like a normal rope. So then I'm walking around, you know, obviously the VA, it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
So you get up there on this stainless steel slab, because, you know, it's very comfortable. She walks in.
Mortician bed.
And this is, again, the VA. She grabs a hold of everything, grabs the razor. Deadeye looks at me and says, I'm going to shave you now. I'm like, okay, hold on there. Let's calm down with the Kung Fu grip. Let's ease up here. It's not going to do anything. Trust me. I'm as nervous as you are and you're holding a razor. It's not going up anywhere at all. We're good. You can let go. You're not choking it out. She's like, no, I have to have a firm grip so I can stretch. And I'm like, okay, cool.
My wife.
If this is a vasectomy, I don't want it anymore because you're crushing everything.
There's no scissors in this.
So again, I had not had a conversation with a doctor at all, had no idea who was doing the procedure, nothing. This is me walking in. This could have been a nurse that had a bad day, and she just wanted to fuck with me and had no idea what was going on. She came in, shaved, and walked out. So do that, get that done, and then they're like, well, you're going to get probably more around 4 to 6 shots in your balls. So, no. Okay. To numb it up. Makes sense. Cool. I didn't have a fucking Percocet or some gas that they're gonna fucking give me. No, nothing to like ease the pain. VA gives 2 shits if you're gonna wail around. Not our problem if you mess it up and you cut half your balls off. No,
your statistics are 1 in 2,000. Yours 1 in 2.
Yeah. So this happens. The doctor walks in. As soon as the doctor walks in, I calm down because the doctor that I see walk in, I'm pretty sure he's skilled in what he does. So okay, I'm good. He talks to me. Here's what we're going to do. Nip, tuck, cut, sear it, sew it, done. Okay, cool. I've been here probably about 15 minutes. I've already changed, been choked out,
dilated,
and shaved. So he sticks me with this needle, I'm sure was about 1.5 feet long, and only needed to be about maybe 3 to 4 inches. He starts jabbing me, sticking me. He's like, okay, well, we're just going to hang out here and let that numb up. I'm like, hold on. You could have done that first and then like walked away. We're going to sit here and have conversations, dick hanging out and everything, and we'll wait for it to numb. This could have been talked about, figured out way back and done in a different form other than me just sitting here like my legs are in stirrups. And you two are just in front of me looking back at me like everything's normal.
This is funny.
Obviously, they're comfortable
yet to me.
So then everything gets numbed. He pulls out the tools, starts cutting. Okay, I can feel some tugging going on. It's
That's
like,
great.
all right.
That's what you always want to hear.
It's got it done. He's talking to me about the whole thing, and he's kind of giving me the rundown. Like. Not before, like this is mid-procedure, what I can and can't do. Like, there's no going back at this point. It's like I'm already cut open, my shit's in his hands, and about to be cut. It's like, okay, I can't just like sew you back up. He's playing me like a fucking puppet right now. So there's no going back.
What's this string do? Like, oh, it's making you wink.
Yeah. So they get it, they cut it, they sew it up. And they cauterize it and everything. And then he starts talking about the stitches and whatnot. Like, oh yeah, you're going to be sore. A lot of guys are okay. Some guys go back to work the next day. Other guys take, the weekend. Cause I did it on a Friday. I'm like, I'm not doing anything all weekend. Yeah. I'll go back to work on Monday. Typically 2 to 3 days, you're normally fine, they say.
Yeah.
So doctor's like, it may take 1-2 days, just take it easy. Try not to walk around, everything else. So it's like, all right, cool. And they gave me the typical weird jock strap that they like surgical jock strap.
At least you get one. I have to go buy one.
Yeah.
And never use it again.
They gave me that. They charged me for it, but yeah, they have them there.
So that's an $80 pair of underwear.
So it's not even it's a jock strap with your ass hanging out. So put that on. Obviously, as soon as you get done. Everything's still numb, so you're not feeling anything. So, to be honest, I probably could have driven home and been fine. Yeah. But had somebody there. They gave me the ibuprofen. So when I picked that up, and as soon as I got the bottle, I took one. I was like, I'm not gonna feel any of this. I don't, and I'm walking the entire time. I know I'm walking with like I rode a horse for like 600 miles, bow leg, because I'm fearful that something's gonna pop open, my balls are gonna fall on the floor. So I'm kind of walking slow, and my oldest son is with me as well, and I'm like, look at this. This is because of you.
This is all your fault.
See this down here? This is what's happening. So you're a teenager now. You're gonna understand this. You caused this. This is all you.
And in pain.
So
it's your fault.
I mean, and I got home, laid down. I had obviously the frozen peas, because that's what they say to use, because it molds and everything else a lot easier than unless you have like the gel ice packs that work just the same.
The athletic gel packs.
Yeah, those are gonna work almost as good, if not better, than the peas. But
well, here's the problem with peas. I don't buy them because we don't eat them. So,
well, I wasn't gonna make the kids eat the peas that I had on my nuts.
Oh, I would be like, you caused this? Here you go. Eat up, bitches.
I mean, I'll be like, I wasn't in a whole lot of pain. I think it was uncomfortable for the first few hours, but after that, I mean, I nursed. I mean, I milked the hell out of it. I'm like, oh, I can't get up, can't do anything. I took the whole weekend. I didn't do a fucking thing all weekend. So, but I mean, come Monday, I was good. I didn't have any problems. Oh, there's no talking about follow up or like that. They're going to guarantee their work from the get go. There's like, oh no, there's no, we'll do this. You're good.
That sounds like
we're going to tie in a cute little bow. Nothing gets out that way. You're good. No swimmers. We choked it off. We good. We had a conversation with them. They're going to stay back. Yeah.
You want sailors? What knot do you want?
Yeah. So, like, you know, if you want to have an appointment set up, just let us know and we'll set one up. So, you know,
I already
there's
have
no timeline
set up. I already have a 3-month set up for April.
No, see, nothing. It's like, oh, just go ahead and come back in when you're ready. Let us know. I'm like, so how long am I to, I'm shooting blanks or whatnot? They're like, oh, it may take a little while. No exact time.
They're like, we don't know.
It's just like, we don't recommend that you do it because you're gonna have some buildup that's already gonna be there.
Yeah.
We can't just go in and suck it all out and call you good. Like, okay, well, so I gotta prime the pump myself, or can I have some help, or what do you recommend? Like, do your thing. I'm not gonna tell you what to do to yourself or who to do it with. So again, this is a VA, so they're very blunt.
Are you sure? Everything. Because the Army's been fucking me sideways with this green wiener, and I feel like you know better.
So I mean, yeah, it was pretty quick and easy, painless for the most part. I mean, again, I'm shocked that you're getting a fucking Percocet.
I was too, because like everyone else I've talked to, all my buddies, the whole whopping 6 of y'all, none of them mentioned the Percocet. I had to ask them, I was like, were you guys giving gas? No.
What the fuck is gas for?
I'm like, well, what do you need gas for? I was like, their parents trying to calm my nerves. And they're like, okay. And of course, 2 of them are military. So like, yeah, that sounds about right. Fucking Air Force. I was like, look, you can hate me, but if you were given the opportunity to, you would have taken it. And the Percocet, by the way, 56 cents for one of them.
Really?
Yep. Anyways, neither here nor there. Just wanted to say that because I picked it up today. But yeah, they went through the whole procedure and they're like, you're gonna have some discomfort, and they literally told me, you will not get you're not allowed to get up for 3 days. After that, between day 3 and day 7, that's between you and your body. Do not go running, hiking, jumping, swimming. I literally sat there, looked at myself, looked at him, and go, does it look like I run? He's like, well, you said you used to work out. Yeah, I meant like when I was in the military before I had my kids. I have kids now. I ain't got time for that shit. They are my workout. Curl them by their armpits. Whatever. But when I told my wife that, she's like, no, fucking no way. My doctor literally said, if you have an issue with your wife, just let us know. We will tell her, and we'll write you a doctor's note. We'll consult her to whatever needs to, so she understands you are not to get up. Yes. my wife's gonna be off all week. She's just gonna take the week off anyways because she has a lot of floating holidays now that she's store manager. So she has floating holidays plus her regular days off. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just play video games, and I was like, oh yeah, I get bored too quickly.
What kind of bougie ass clinic or whatever did you go to where they're doing all this shit like you can't move for 3 days?
Well, here's the funny thing.
You get a Percocet.
You know why they're doing this though, because there's been enough issues for them, lawsuits, threats, whatever. There's been enough that they're like, we're done dealing with this shit. We're taking every fucking precaution, whether you like it or not. This is what's happening because we're not going to deal with your bitch ass. We're not going to deal with your significant other's dumb ass. We're not dealing with anybody. We're going to do our job. You're going to go home, be content with it, whether you like it or not, and leave us alone.
Fuck up.
And like I was telling my kids, dined me out to my mother-in-law earlier this week on Saturday. And hold on, I'll explain why. Because after I got done with my consultation and everything, like anytime something major happens or is going to happen, we prep the kids. So they can't say we didn't tell you, but also so they're made aware. So like when my wife was coming home with our second child, when we came home, we told my daughter at the time she was only like two and a half. They understand shit, but we started with like, hey, listen, mom's coming home. We're gonna have another baby. You are not to jump on mom. You are not to mess with her. You leave her alone. Like, I took care of her. I made sure she was safe. She was okay. She was well rested as much as you could be, and like took care of her. But the thing was, we always told our kids, and we still do, that like, here in a month, this is what's gonna happen. And we let them know plans in advance, which is what I did. I told them on. Consultation was Wednesday. Friday, yeah. And so I told him, I was like, hey, listen, in 1 month's time, exactly 1 month, I'm going to have a procedure and you guys can't sit on my lap. We're not going to roughhouse. You will not punch me, kick me, push me, elbow me, whatever, because it's a daily occurrence. You will leave me alone. I'm going to sit on the couch, lay on the couch, relax in the chair, whatever. I'm going to be left alone. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. And of course, my kid's very inquisitive, and goddamn, that fucking 6-year-old, super inquisitive. I have something to tell you at the end of this, but so she's asking, what's happening? Why is this happening? Are you okay? Type thing. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm going to go have a procedure where I can no longer make a child with a woman or your mom. Oh, but I want a baby brother. Nope, you got one. Be happy. And of course she's like, well, why? I was like, listen, you're not going to understand this. Just know your mom and I had the 2 kids we wanted, 1 boy, 1 girl. We got really lucky. That's what we wanted. And we said at the end of that, I'm done. And the option was your mom going into having a very invasive surgery or me having a same day procedure walkout type thing. And she's like, oh, okay. So left it at that. Saturday, mother-in-law says, hey, I'll come pick the kids up. Perfect. Awesome. I get to chill out for a little bit. She comes over. We chit chat and everything. And my daughter comes in and just goes, Nana, guess what? And of course, at this point, it could be anything from Christmas to school to Elf on the Shelf to anything. And shit. My mother-in-law's like, what? What's going on? Yeah, it's gonna have a procedure. She's like, what? What did you say? Dad's gonna have a procedure. What are you saying? And I was like, God damn it. So I was like, I'm just letting her say it one more time and just let my mother-in-law just kind of give up and go, okay, well, that's cool type thing, like not being able to stand her. And my daughter is like, he's going to the doctors. He's having a procedure. And mother-in-law looks at me. What's she talking about? I'm going to have a procedure done in a month. It's fine. Everything's okay. Nothing to worry about. And of course, she kind of panics and she's like, what's this about? Like, is everything okay? Are you guys good? Do you need me to watch the kids or anything? I was like, no, we'll be fine. Nothing's there. And then my daughter again goes, he won't give me another brother or another sister. And my mother-in-law looks at me and goes, what procedure are you having done? I was like, okay, well, if you must know, thank you. Like, that glares at my fucking daughter. And I was like, thank you, asshole. Anyways, I was like, I'm having a vasectomy. And she was collectively more heartbroken than probably my wife and I could even muster together. Because she's like, I'm sorry, why are you doing this? We don't want any more kids. We got 2. We got a boy and a girl. We're fine. We're good with the 2 we have. Have you met our son? Like, he's fucking feral. He's a tank. And she's like, I know, but babies are such a joy. I was like, yeah, as a grandparent, you're not having to watch them 24/7. So she's like, oh man, I'm really, and she's like, I'm really sad. I'm upset by this. Like, I didn't know you guys were even considering this. I thought you guys were always just joking, because for the past 4 years we've been saying we're done with kids. And she's blatantly asked, when am I going to get another grandbaby? I'm going to move to Kansas. It'd really, really be nice to be able to take care of a new grandbaby. It's like, we're not having any more. Like, we're done. I'm done. I'm going to be literally tapped out here in a bit. Like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And she is so heartbroken, devastated about the news. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, just FYI, your mom's probably going to call you or text you and say, hey, I don't think it's a good idea or whatever. And she's like, it's fine, whatever. I'll just ignore her. Perfect. Awesome. Come Sunday, she drops my kids off. Before she drops my kids off, my mother-in-law doesn't swear too much, especially about my kids. She doesn't call them like assholes or pain in the asses or anything like that, even though they are. I dropped my wife off at work at 8. I came back to bed. I came home, went back to bed, slept till 10. And
rough day.
I know, it was super nice. It was super nice.
Rough day.
But anyway, so I get a text, and all it says is, hey, I'm getting ready for the day. I'm going to drop the kids off in an hour. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just waking up. It'll be like 11:30. Second message I get is, your son is a bear right now. He's so full of piss and vinegar today. I don't know what his issue is. I was like, yep, sounds about right. I cracked a joke. I was like, oh, it's because it's Sunday. It's a holy day. It's what happens when you don't baptize a child type thing. She didn't think it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I laughed myself all the way awake. But so go on, and like maybe 30 minutes pass. She's like, hey, I'm taking the kids to the park now. I'll be at your house soon, but I want to get back home before the Chiefs play. Cool. Fine. I'm just waiting around for her. I can't leave the house because I don't know when she's going to be here. It's supposed to be 30 minutes, supposed to be an hour, whatever. And sure enough, I get another message. Oh my God. I don't know how you guys wake up and deal with this terror, because he's just go, go, go. And he is so mean. He's being a brat. I kid you not. He is just full of piss and vinegar today. I'm done. I couldn't deal with this. I was like, yeah, that's why we're having a vasectomy. Plug. And she goes, I understand. I'm so sorry. Like, I know I said I'd help you guys out whenever, and I still will. Like, if you guys need a day off or a weekend off, let me know. I didn't know he was this bad at times. Like, yeah, well, he's 4 years old. He's not in school because he missed the fucking cutoff by 39 days.
Yep.
And he's just there. He's understimulated because it's cold out now, and if we do go to the park, nobody's there because it's fucking cold out. And if we don't go to the park, it's because it's cold out. Like this winter, it's fucking cold out. Mm-hmm. Snow or not, cold. And that wind, though, that sounds super Kansas, but that wind, if it was the wind, it'd be nice. 48 degrees, 52 degrees is fine, but that wind chill drops it down to like 30, 20. It's just brutal. So I tell my wife all this, and mother-in-law drops the kids off, and she's like, look, I'm still very sad you guys aren't having any more kids, and you're stripping that possibility away. I just really wish you guys would reconsider. I was like, oh, you gonna raise them? Because you know how my daughter is. She's fucking... My daughter's the reason why we want to have a second kid. We're like, oh, this is so easy. She's so nice and perfect. Other end of the spectrum. Just, whoo, lordy. And she's like, no, I mean, I'd be able to help you guys out. Like, you could go back to work full time. I was like, but again, it doesn't make sense. So it's not logical. It's not financially responsible. And more importantly, we just don't want a third child. And that's the end of it. It's not to sound preachy, but we're like, our body, our choice type thing. But I was like, whatever, we're done. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go home and watch the Chiefs play. And she's like, the kids are probably going to tell you I was very upset with them and angry with them. So I do apologize if they think I was mad at them. I was like, oh, if you were dealing with my son, I believe it. Like, that's why my wife comes home. She's like, just looks annoyed when I was like yelling at the kids all of a sudden. She's like, why are you yelling? You don't fucking understand the goddamn hell I've been put through with this 4-year-old. I want chicken nuggets, cottage cheese, and pears. All right, here's chicken nuggets, cottage cheese, and pears. Hey, little dude, you want a Capri Sun? Yeah, awesome. Drinks Capri Sun, says, I don't like any of the other shit, throws it away. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed. Go take a nap. I don't want a nap. Go take a nap. Fine. Plays in the room all day. Take a goddamn nap, you evil, evil shithead. No. Okay, move, buddy. I need to get in the kitchen. Fine. Punches me, palms me in the nads, whatever, just hits me. Bends over because I'm like, oh, it hurts so much. So yes, having a vasectomy because of that one specifically. So yeah, but I told her about the whole like red flags of the doctor asking about significant others and mother-in-laws and all that. Don't know if it's true, but she just moved back up from Florida, and she said that's very common in Florida where husbands or boyfriends would go get a vasectomy and then go out and date and basically promise the world. And then when the girl and guy have been dating for a little bit, the girl wants a baby, guy can't have a baby, girl gets mad because he promised all this stuff. Or worse, husband has an affair and gets snipped so where he can go have an affair. And, you know, his reason is because, oh, now I can't get anybody pregnant, so it doesn't matter. And women have sued doctors. Significant others have sued doctors. So she's like, yeah, that's anytime you want a major procedure, even if it's like a boob job or something, she's like, they sign everything off to make sure everyone's agreeable and everybody's on the same page. I was like, oh, that's stupid. That kind of goes against the whole thing, but whatever. I thought it was funny. Yeah. I mean, hindsight, I thought it was funny. I was annoyed when they kept asking me. I mean, sign papers like, I get it. All right.
Yep. I can't wait till your son's walking around. My dad had a procedure. He got his wiener chopped off. He can't do it anymore. He had his wiener chopped off.
I didn't tell him that, but yeah. Told him I had a vasectomy because I can't say V's very well. But he's probably going to make it sound like I had a mastectomy. No. But the kids were pretty upset though when I was like, I can't roughhouse for a week. I told them a week, even though it's only gonna be like 3 days. But I was like, I told them a week.
You don't want those stitches to get hit.
No, I don't want any pain down there caused by them. The doctor just said you can't lift anything over 10 pounds. I was like, I literally can't lift any living thing in my house except for my fish if I stick my hand in the fish tank, because my cats are all over 10 pounds. Healthy weight. No, not my black cat. She's fat. She's fat as fuck. Maybe has a tumor. Orange cat is 12 pounds. Kids are both, 35 and 40 pounds. So yeah. And they're already like, oh, you can't play with us. Why can't you play with us? Because of you. You made me do this. And my wife's like, can you stop telling them it's their fault? Kind of is. If he was as nice as she was at his age, be peachy keen, be like, it's okay. Risk it. Protection. Oh, left that part out. The whole post-op thing, like still being fertile and everything, there's a part that he's like, the doctor told me, he's like, you're gonna be fertile, so you need to make sure your wife is on the pill and you see her take the pill. I was like, not a problem. He's like, no, I'm serious. You need to make sure you see her. Like, it's probably going to cause a huge rift, but for the first 3 months, you need to make sure you see her, because too many guys get pissed off and they say it's not theirs. And this is when a lot of women in this area, Fort Riley to Topeka, a lot of women like to baby trap men. I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
she doesn't want any babies, so we ain't got to worry about that. Second off, she's not on the pill because birth control fucks with her hormones so bad, just like it does virtually every other woman. And he literally just stopped. He goes, oh, okay. I was like, but yes, I will go buy more condoms or whatever, and we'll be protective like we have been. He's like, okay, well, in that case, you might want to take your condoms and like submerge it underwater and see if there's air bubbles. I stopped there. I go, sir, my wife does not want kids. I don't think she's going to be poking holes in my condoms. It's a hunch. But I don't think she's going to be doing this, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this procedure. And he's like, well, again, we just have this happen a lot. And I was like, okay, I get it. I do. And it's kind of when I wised up. I was like, look, I'm Air Force. I'm not Army. So I'm not dumb like Fort Riley people are. I'm intelligent, as you can tell by me understanding the lingo you've been tossing at me. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good here? I just signed some paperwork saying that you understand, saying that you're here of your own volition, blah 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 blah. I was like, I just signed away. I was like, my God. And told my wife this, and she's just, the condom one, she's like, why would you put the condom in the water? I was like, because of air bubbles. She goes, okay. Because women are fucking crazy and have been known to poke holes in them. No. I was like, I literally have a best friend who did that to her boyfriend, and that's why they're still together. Because in high school, they were fooling around, and she literally poked a bunch of holes in his condoms, and then she was knocked up senior year. Granted, that's like 2008, 2009, but whatever. Fucking crazy. And it was just like, it's all obscene and ridiculous. Yeah. Look at that whole episode about vasectomy. But no, it's so weird. And that's why I was like, I'm gonna talk to Rahgel about this on episode. So like, let's compare notes. Because I know you had it done by VA. So I was very sure it was.
It's just luxurious compared to mine.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you how that Percocet is. I joked with my wife. I was like, I'm gonna FaceTime Rahgel during the whole procedure. I'm sure mine's gonna be so nice. I need moral support there. In my paperwork, it says not allowed to videotape, not allowed to FaceTime, not allowed to Skype. No family members or significant others are allowed in the room. Yeah. I was like, still gonna do it. Can't tell me no. Bring everything in. God. It'll be a trip. We'll do a follow up on the 18th, January 18th episode or whatever happens to be that. But speaking of Elf on the Shelf, though, before we go, because you do Elf on the Shelf.
Yes. Good. Yes.
Okay.
Fucking thing.
So yesterday, put my daughter to bed, or my wife puts her to bed, and I hear, Dad, do my checks. Go in there, nothing underneath the bed, da 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 da. And she's like, I got a question. I was like, okay, it's like 8:30 at night. You need to be asleep. Oh, I got a question. What? Why don't we have an elf? What? She's like, well, why don't we have an elf at school, and my best friend has an elf. I was like, okay, what are you talking? Oh, Elf on the Shelf. She's like, yeah, an elf. I was like, okay. That's a good question. She goes, why don't we have an elf? Why isn't there an elf here? When I say that, it's probably the most perplexing question she has asked me that I legitimately do not have an answer for. Like, she's on a 3-month streak of talking about death, about when the animals die, when her Mamarai died, when she dies, like life-altering questions. Very just like, she's talking about religion a lot, wants to know about it, and the elf is the one that stumped me. Why don't we have an elf on the shelf? And I was like, well, you said you have one in school? Yeah, okay. I got this one. I know this one. Because there's only one teacher in your classroom. There's like 20 of you kids. And that the elf is sent there by Santa Claus to kind of help monitor you, to spy on you all, to see who's behaving, who's not, because maybe the teacher isn't able to catch everything. The elf will relay it back to Santa, so the teacher doesn't have to relay it to their mom and dad. Mom and dad have to relay it to Santa, so they know you've been a bad kid or a good kid. She's like, oh, what about my friend then? Oh, and my instant gut reaction is just like, well, bad kids need this. But her friend's not a bad kid, because I know her friend's mom and dad. I've worked with them. I've known them for years. I was like, well, kids who may struggle a little bit more at home, or you know, I think that's what it is. I think this is why it is. Your best friend has, their mom and dad don't live together. They're separated. So mom has her own home. Her dad has their own home. So she has 2 homes. And they both work full time. So the elf is there to kind of like help. And like I spun this elegant fabrication. And she's like, oh. But so other kid B, they have an elf. But their mom and dad live together. Girl, it's 8:45. I don't know how to answer this, and you're giving me anxiety.
Go to her friend. You only have an elf because your parents live together.
So I had to tell her, I was like, you don't tell your friends what I'm saying. Okay. And that's mostly because this next part, I was like, well, maybe that other friend's struggling at home. Maybe their home life's not so good. Maybe they're just being a little too honoring. Maybe it's just to keep them in check. Maybe it's hard to say why that person has an elf, but mom and dad probably just need a little bit of help. Maybe their mom and dad works. So, you know, not all kids are lucky enough to be able to have a stay-at-home parent, let alone a stay-at-home dad. Most parents have to work. So the kids get raised up in, you know, like Boys and Girls Club, or get stuck at home by themselves, and they kind of raise themselves. She goes, oh, well, he's kind of mean to me. I was like, oh, okay. Who did you say this was? I was like, isn't that the kid that threw a rock at you last year and busted your head open? Oh, yeah. He's mean. I was like, that's why he has an elf. He's an asshole.
Got it. Okay.
I literally told I was like, because he's an asshole. Oh, and then what does she do? Today, library day, she gets a book, Elf on the Shelf. Reads it. Inside the book, it says Santa issues parents a special Elf on the Shelf to help the holiday hustle and bustle of the world, as even parents need extra help during the holidays. Fuck you, you stupid book. So anyways, wife puts him down for bed. I'm finishing up the graphics for our episode with the special guest, and I go in there to say my goodnights, and she asked my wife, Mom, can we get an elf next year? I look at my wife like, no. And like I'm whispering to her and just shaking my hands like, read my lips. No. She's like, we'll see. We'll ask Santa for one. I was like, we'll see. We'll see if Santa gets that letter. We'll see. And my only thought is, she won't remember because it's a year out. My wife definitely won't remember. It's a year out. I will remember come November, and I will forever be like on patrol of going, nobody fucking mentions Elf on the Shelf to my goddamn kids. I will punch you. I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't care if you're the principal. I don't care if you're another kid. I will punch you in the throat. Do not mention Elf on the Shelf. I asked my wife, I was like, why did you say maybe? We'll send Santa to see if he'll send us one. Oh, because it's a fun tradition. Are you going to move the fucking elf? Because look, I've talked to Rahgel for the past month, and this bitch sounds like it's a pain in the ass. And I ain't doing it. He has his son doing it for him. She's like, yeah, but it can't be that hard to move around. It's like, when have I done anything half-ass? It's an all or nothing type thing. If I get invested in this stupid fucking Elf on the Shelf, like I do all the holiday traditions. Like that's me. For Easter, they get a special note from the Easter Bunny. That's me doing all my graphic design stuff. You ain't really just nerdy with it, making it look really good, making it look really special for the kids. Christmas, they get a special letter from Santa. That one actually comes from quote unquote Santa through the website that we write through. I do all the special, like the prints on the ground. I will do like cookies getting eaten, milk getting drank. That kind of messes with me at night when I'm drinking the milk, just saying, maybe lactose intolerant. And I do all the like the nitty gritty, stupid minor stuff that my kids absolutely love, because that's what I like. I don't want to fucking do Elf on the Shelf. And my daughter has finagled her way to getting Elf on the Shelf next year by asking about it, basically being told no because you're a good kid, you don't need the extra support, making it sound like only bad kids or troubling kids or divorced kids get Elf on the Shelf. Kids who have dual parents, but they both work, and teachers. To then her check out book basically to go, I'm going to see if my dad's full of shit. My dad's full of shit. Mom, can we get one? Mom says yes. Fuck you all. So yeah, that's been my last 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not doing Elf on the Shelf next year. Fucking annoyed. So annoyed. Ugh. Yeah, that's all I really got. That's what I was going to tell you at the top of the hour. That's what that was the Elf on the Shelf. I knew we'd get there eventually. Go to the snipping of the balls.
Speaking of the balls, yeah, we'll get there.
I did ask my wife though. She's going to give me a vasectomy basket. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I didn't get anything.
She said no. She said, "Did you get me anything when I had the kids?" I go, "Yeah, I gave you the kids." To be fair,
no, you're not getting anything.
To be fair, after my daughter was born, I did go out and get her. The moment the doctors came in and cleared her, I was like, "Can she eat?" Yeah. Can she eat from not here? Yeah. All right. Do you want Jimmy John's? Because she was craving Jimmy John's so bad. So I was like, she's like, yeah. I was like, went to Jimmy John's. This time, I forget what she was craving, but that was like her first meal. So yeah, I got her something, but I sent her the TikToks and videos and everything. And she goes, "This is all candy and junk food."
Yeah.
And now that, well, she's like, "You literally get this for yourself whenever you want." I was like, "Listen, okay, it's the thought that counts."
Exactly.
So
thought you put into this.
But now that she knows I have to be bedridden for 3 days, I told her I'm going to soak this up too.
Mm-hmm.
Soak it up.
Do it.
And she's like, "So yeah. Good luck wiping your own ass."
It's not that bad. You can wipe your own ass.
I was like, easy. I know how to wipe my butt. I've been doing it forever. And she goes, "Yeah, until you push too hard." "Do they make something to make you constipated?" She goes, "Nope. Good luck." Lactose intolerant, red meat intolerant. The works.
You'll be fine. It's not that bad.
No, it's not. I just think it's gonna be funny because I cook every meal. I take care of the kids.
You're getting fast food, and your mother-in-law's gonna be around a lot.
No, but my mother-in-law did say she'd take the kids. I was like, "Well, that's during school, so good luck." She's like, "It's fine. I'll come get your son and watch him while I'm at work, and maybe." I was like, "It's fine. My wife will be off." "Yeah, but she'll need help." I was like, "That's so funny. You guys all of a sudden say she needs help, but I'm just here floating." "Yeah, but you like it." Debatable.
Do I?
There seems to be a procedure I'm having that says otherwise. Could be wrong. But that's all we really got time for this hour-long plus episode. Oh, way to end the year. From decking the halls with the balls to snipping them off. How we wrap up 2023.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh yeah, don't forget, I'm gonna let you do all the social media. What am I doing? I've done all the talking.
Yeah, check us out every Thursday. We play Warzone. Typically, that's all we're gonna play. We just talk about other games. We're not gonna play anything else. I am on Twitch. Sig is on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. I don't know if he does any Facebook or anything else, but that's pretty much where he's at. Those three. Make sure to check out next year. We should start kicking off for the Patreon, and then also Discord server is now up and running. That's also
Patreon.
another 2 guys 1 gamepad. Oh, it is okay. Well, Patreon
live.
and Discord, all 2 guys 1 gamepad podcast, or just 2 guys 1 gamepad.
2 guys 1 gamepad podcast for Patreon. 2 guys 1 gamepad community. Links are listed down below in the description. Podcast community. Okay, 2 guys 1 gamepad
community.
podcast. Yeah. You type in 2 guys 1 gamepad, you're gonna find us, regardless of where we're at. So, I've done all the research and done all the searching for it. So, we are there.
Yeah, it was a good year, fun year. Look forward to season 3, 2024.
Season 3 is gonna kick off with a bang. Special guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he didn't dive into it like a punk ass bitch.
I don't want to give away too much. To just tease.
It's a tease.
Just sprinkle a little bit. Oh, you almost had it.
Tease a little bit more. Discord's completely free to join. Patreon is a way to support, and everything goes full circle. But there's extra benefits, perks, and content over on Patreon that you can only get on Patreon. And this is the last one. So December 24th, here in 3 days of this being live. Come check us out. Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, 2 guys 1 gamepad. We will be live doing our season 2 wrap up. Yeah, that's gonna be all of them. So we won't have 2 brand new episodes following this. They will be my top 3 episodes of the year, Rahgel's top 3 episode of the year, and then on December 31st, we're going to release a top 3 collective listen. So what you all have been listening through for the past 2 years, so since 2022, the top 3 episodes of all time will be compiled together, released on December 31st as a final thank you, and show you guys what you guys have listened to the most. So with that said, that's pretty much all we got. Thanks for amazing 2023. 2024 is gonna be, we got so much stuff in store. You won't want to miss out. Follow us on social media.
Crazy. Season 3. Wow. I didn't think it was going to last that long.
You didn't think it was gonna last 6 months?
Then, not 2 seasons, going into 3.
Well, we went from every other week to 1 episode every week to season 2 kicking off with 2 episodes a week all year long. We've made progress.
We did it. Yay.
I did all the work.
All right. Well, till then, bye, bitch.